I never believed in ghost stories, at least not until I found myself standing in front of the old house on the hill. The locals called it the Whispering House, and for as long as I could remember, I'd heard rumors about it. People said strange noises came from inside, faint whispers, cries, and sometimes just the sound of something scratching at the walls. But no one ever dared go near it, I thought it was all nonsense. Until the night I decided to see for myself. It was a stormy evening, the kind where the wind howls through the trees, and the sky seems ready to swallow the earth. Oh, I heard the stories all my life, but I was tired of the fear they had over me. So I grabbed my flashlight and my courage and made my way up to the house. The air around it felt different, heavy like the atmosphere itself was holding its breath. The front door creaked open with the slightest touch, and as I stepped inside, the smell of decay hit me. Dust covered everything, furniture, floors, even the air itself seemed thick with time. I walked through the room, my flashlight trembling in my hand. Nothing, just old furniture covered with sheets and broken windows that let in the chill of the night. But then I heard it. At first it was so soft, I thought it was just the wind. But when I paused, it stopped to Aaron. I froze my name, it wasn't the wind. My heart thudded in my chest as I scanned the room, but there was nothing, no one. Maybe it was my mind playing tricks on me. I thought I moved further into the house, my feet creaking with each step. And then there it was again, but louder, closer. Aaron, come closer. I felt a cold shiver crawl up my spine. The whisper was clear now, and it didn't sound like the wind or my imagination. It was alive against my better judgment. I walked towards the source, following the voice that seemed to beckon me from the darkness as I moved deeper into the house. The atmosphere shifted, the air grew heavier, colder, as though the walls themselves were closing in. The whispers swirled around me, filling my ears with their low, insistent murmur. Aaron, you're almost there. The voice sounded like it was coming from everywhere at once, but somehow I couldn't see anyone. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I felt like I was being pulled, like something was dragging me forward. I followed the sound until I reached the attic, its door creaking open on its own. The room was dark, the only light coming from my flickering flashlight. The floor was cracked and uneven, and the ceiling sagged low. But there in the middle of the room stood an antique mirror. Its glass was cracked, but there was something about it, something wrong. I don't know why, but I felt an unshakable pull toward it. The whispers were louder now, like a chorus of voices chanting my name. Aaron, come closer. I stepped forward, my feet heavy with dread. And when I looked into the mirror, I saw it at first. I thought it was my reflection, but the face staring back at me was wrong, twisted. The eyes were empty, hollow, like two dark pits that stared into my soul. The mouth was stretched into an unnatural grin, as if it was mocking me. It wasn't me, it was someone else. The whispering stopped, replaced by a voice that was not my own. Stay! I stumbled back, heart racing. The room began to spin, the walls closing in on me. The air was thick with a presence I couldn't explain. I turned to leave, but the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Panic flooded my chest, I pulled at the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers returned, louder now, frantic screaming. And then I heard something terrible. Behind me in the mirror, the woman's grin widened, and from the cracks in the glass, more faces began to appear. Faces that pressed against the mirror, desperate, pleading. I could see their eyes pleading for help, but I knew it was too late for them. And then I understood, they weren't trapped in the mirror. They were trapped in the house! Just like me, I turned to run, but my feet wouldn't move. I was frozen, paralyzed with fear, my mind screaming at me to get out, but the house wasn't going to let me. I could feel it, like the walls were alive, like the floor was moving beneath me. The last thing I heard before everything went black was her voice, soft and cold, right behind my ear, on my ear. Welcome home, Aaron. The next morning, the house stood silent once again, as if nothing had ever happened. The storm had passed and the sun cast a weak light through the clouds, but when they went to look inside, they found nothing, no sign of me. Just the mirror cracked and forgotten in the attic. But if you look closely, you'll see my face there now, pressed against the glass, eyes wide in terror, just waiting for someone else to come.